I would like to introduce and invite to the stage Carl Lindholm, and representing John Corbisiero, his son, Mike Corbisiero.
Thank you, Aaron. For its first 80 years, Middlebury College was a men's school. During World War II, however, it was a school for women, mostly. In 1943, there were 74 men enrolled at Middlebury and nearly 500 women. Then the boys came home. Armed now with the GI Bill, they attacked higher education. By 1948, there were over 700 men at Middlebury, 85% of whom were vets. And they played sports. Did they ever play sports? Middlebury baseball teams from 1948 and 49 had 8 players who went on to play professionally after graduation. The catcher on those teams was John Corbisiero. His classmate, the late Dean of Admissions, Fred Neuberger, said, "When Corbs blocked the plate, it stayed blocked." In football, John was a bruising fullback and linebacker, nicknamed in the campus newspaper, Mr. Cleated Fury. He was drafted to play football with the Chicago Bears, but instead chose to play baseball in the Boston Braves system before joining the Air Force during the Korean War years. The short biography in your program provides some of the highlights of John's truly remarkable athletic career. In football, he was a leader and record holder in so many categories. In 1947 and 48, his Middlebury teams won 12 games, lost 2, and tied 1. That short bio, however, does not reveal the depth and scale of his talent and character. He was a football captain, a member of the Blue Key Honor Society, and winner of the Hazeltine Klevenow Award for excellence in academics and athletics. Because of his football season in 1944 at Notre Dame, yes, Notre Dame, he was ineligible to play his senior year at Middlebury, so he helped Duke Nelson coach the team. Many of those athletes back from the war majored in Middlebury in physical education. Not so John Corbisiero. He was a physics major. Fred Neuberger again. Johnny Corbs was really his own man. He didn't do all the other crazy things the other guys did. He was special. John earned a master's degree in system analysis, flew 106 combat missions in Vietnam, and retired from the military as a full colonel. John Corbisiero, class of 1950, a brilliant athlete at Middlebury, and a man who has led a life of great distinction.
Thank you, Carl. On behalf of my dad, John Corbisiero, for that introduction. President Patton, Hall of Fame committee members, Hall of Fame inductees being honored tonight, and past inductees, and friends of Middlebury, I wish to say that I am extremely proud to represent my dad, Mr. Cleated Fury, at this auspicious occasion. I had a chance to spend some time with Dad last week, and he says hello to everybody from warm San Antonio. I'd like to recognize a couple of my travel companions, my wife Vicki, my daughter Taylor, my cousin Ann, her husband Larry Harris, their son Nate, who played for Hamilton football, okay. Their daughter Lauren, and her friend Tom. Thank you for being here for this evening. I'll touch on a couple of items here, tell a brief story, and give some thank you for the opportunity. As Carl mentioned, it was 1944. Dad was playing in front of 100,000 people in Yankee Stadium when he realized that his call to duty was up, and it was time to head to the invasion of Okinawa. The challenge, he was fortunate to have survived, but he came back to a new challenge. The challenge back then was that the universities and colleges in America were inundated with GIs coming back. Going back to Notre Dame was not an option. But God had a different plan for Dad. Jack Kirk stepped into his life. And Jack Kirk said, "John, we want to get you up to the Middlebury College." And Dad said, "Okay, tell me a little bit about it, because I want to be an engineering major." And Jack explained to him the concept that Middlebury was putting together with MIT. So together they drove up from Boston up to Middlebury, where they met with the admissions officer, and they sat down with Duke Nelson. And Duke Nelson talked to him about how we're going to build out a great athletic program here at Middlebury. Dad signed on the line that day, committed to Middlebury, and as they say, the rest is history. Dad requested that I point out a few folks that helped him along the way. First of all, thank you to his family, his parents, his 3 sisters, Rita, Rosa, and Amy, and his biggest fan of all, his brother Joe. And from Middlebury, Jack Kirk. I had the opportunity to meet Jack once, a great man. As you all know, Jack was a former Middlebury trustee who was the most incredible Middlebury booster one could imagine. He was a mentor and very close friend of Dad's. His sincere gratitude also extends to Middlebury's former director of athletics, football, and hockey coach, Duke Nelson, also being honored tonight, who supported Dad both academically and athletically and taught him the intricacies of how to run the single wing formation. Also, those fun-filled days playing hockey out on the open rink and in this enclosed facility here that we sit in this evening. Former baseball coach, Dick Ciccarella, who supported him through 3 great years of playing baseball at this great college with a team that could compete with any other college throughout the United States. Former physics professor, Professor Whistler, who personally assisted his dad in getting into the MIT program, and former teammates who made it possible for him to succeed in all sports. Middlebury cheerleaders, all those Middlebury students and fans who cheered him on. He savors those moments and those memories. And finally, on a personal note, to all of us in the audience here, especially those that are young, take the time to discover your past. Talk to your grandparents. Talk to your parents, your aunts and your uncles. Listen to their stories and listen to what they have provided and what they have done for you, for their families, for their communities, and for the colleges that they have attended. And also for the great country that we all live in here today. For each one of us has a Hall of Fame moment that needs to be told. Thank you, Middlebury.